So now you've seen the syllabus and the blackboard and kind of give you an acclamation as to what's going to happen within this course this semester. So now it's time for us to turn our attention to Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is an introduction to marketing. And so let's get started on Chapter 1, and we will talk more when we get together on Thursday. Now, remember, at the end of Chapter 1, there is some discussion questions. Answer the discussion questions, please type it up, and please bring it to class on Thursday. Doesn't have to be long explanations, 1-2 sentences, just answering the question, and that way I can tell that you've seen the video and you understand what we're talking about. So I will see you, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you on Tuesday. So as I said in the introduction, what we're going to do now is we're going to go over Chapter 1, which is an overview of marketing. I'm going to try to tell you in the next, say, 20-25 minutes, really a good definition of marketing, what marketing is, what it does, and why it's important to businesses across the globe. We're also going to talk about the different societal ways of marketing and things like that. So here's the American Marketing Association's definition of marketing. I'll let you read it. Obviously, you can read. But really, if you think about it, marketing has two facets. What we are trying to do as marketers is we are trying to deliver products, services, etc. to customer needs. So we're trying to determine what are the customer needs, and then we're trying to drive products, drive services to those customer needs. The key thing is finding out what the customer needs are and then trying again to drive those products to it. The other thing that we do as marketers is we try to build long-term relationships. We want repeat customers. If you think about marketing, marketing is everything that has to do with the customer. And that means we're driving products and services, we're promoting and communicating to the customer, we're trying to drive delivery and service to the customer, and we're also trying to find the price point that the customers will buy. So marketers drive transactions. We drive exchanges. That's what we're all about. Now, there are 5 conditions for an exchange. The first condition is at least 2 parties must be involved. The second condition, something must be present. We must be exchanging services or we must be exchanging products. We don't necessarily need money for the exchange because you could barter, you could trade a chicken for a cow. Of course, no one would ever do that. How about a sheep for a goat? I don't know. But anyways, it doesn't necessarily have to be money. We could use the barter system. But something of value must be present. It must be capable of communication. The 2 parties must be capable to communicate, and there has to be capability for delivery. For instance, we might find customers out in the Himalayan mountains, but if we can't get the products or services to them, then exchange can't take place. There must be a desire to deal with each party, and then each party must be free to accept or reject the offer. Those are the 5 conditions that are necessary for exchange. We as marketers, what we're trying to do is we're trying to drive that exchange. Now, in the past, there's been 4 marketing management philosophies: the production philosophy, the sales philosophy, the market philosophy, and now societal or CRM, customer relationship management philosophy. So let's start with production. Production orientation means that if we produce it, they will come. There are still firms now that take a production orientation philosophy. For instance, if you're the only one that can produce a particular product, or if you have a better mousetrap, you don't really need to do a lot of marketing. If someone needs the product, they will come to you. So what they use is they use their production resources They use all of the assets that they can for production, and they use that to try to drive exchange. Oftentimes, production orientation works only if you're the only one in town, or it works if you have a better mousetrap. The second one is sales orientation. Those sales-oriented companies, those are the ones that have a lot of telemarketing, have a lot of sales. They're trying to drive sales as best they can by using sales techniques. They don't use a lot of marketing. They don't use a lot of customer service. They don't look at trying to satisfy customer needs. What they try to do is ask as many people as they can if they want to buy it. It's a game of numbers. 1% usually will. So if you ask 100 people, one person is going to buy it. These firms lack understanding of needs. They lack understanding of wants of the marketplace. All they're out there is trying to find customers who will buy their product. And again, they use a lot of telemarketing techniques, a lot of price point techniques, etc. The other one is a market orientation. They're trying to focus on what customer wants and needs, trying to drive those products to those customers' wants and needs. This happens and is a good philosophy because what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out what the customer wants. We're trying to figure out what the customer needs and drive those products to customers' advantage or have a competitive advantage to that. We're trying to achieve long-term goals by satisfying customers' wants and needs. The problem with market orientation is eventually you're going to have competition. So as you are driving to customer needs, other companies are out there trying to do the same thing, and eventually it becomes a price war or something like that. What we really need is we need marketing orientation or customer relationship management, which means obtaining information about customers, examining the information from a total business perspective, taking a look and then determining how to drive superior customer value, how to drive superior product at a superior price point, and then building that relationship so that you have repeat customers and repeat buyers. And then finally, societal marketing orientation is a lot like marketing orientation, but it's marketing orientation that has to do with social responsibility and society. We're talking about sustainability for the planet. We're talking about sustainability for labor, non-corruption. We're talking about human rights and all of those societal issues that are global these days. So societal marketing orientation is achieving that marketing orientation to deliver customer value, to deliver customer orientation, to deliver products and services to the customer, but also keeping in mind the environment, human rights, labor rights, and social rights. So anymore, the buyers have all of the power. The internet has changed from the retailers and the producers having all the power to the buyers having all the power. In the past, before the internet, the retailers had all the power because you had to go to a retail store in order to purchase something. And you weren't going to drive from retail store to retail store to retail store and see 20 different options. You would usually go to one or two retail stores, you would pay the price that they want, and you would buy the selection that they had. Not anymore. With one click of a mouse, you can get 20 options, you can get 30 options, you can compare prices, you can compare services, you can compare everything. So now the buyers have all the power. Marketers need to understand that the customer is boss. So marketers must create a strategy and set themselves apart. Think about it. If you're looking for, say, a Dell computer, and you want to buy a Dell computer, you can click and you can buy it from about 15 different sources on the web. Not only that, but you can buy all kinds of Dell computers. Or if you want, not even want a Dell, if you want just a regular computer, you can look at HP and ASICs and Dell and all those types of things. So you as a buyer has all the power. You have all the power. Therefore, as a marketer, we must set ourselves apart and decide, how are we going to have a competitive advantage over our customers? How are we going to make sure that people buy from us versus our competition? So questions that determining help marketing philosophy, and we talked about production, sales, marketing, and society. Production is, if I build it, they will come. Sales is, I got to ask 100 people, one of them will buy it. Marketing is, let's find out what customers want and satisfy those customers' needs. Societal marketing is, let's do that with society involved, keeping society in the forefront of our mind, and also looking at CRM, or customer relationship management. So the organization, in order to compete these days, you have to have a competitive advantage. And competitive advantages can come from a lot of different sources. For instance, you could have a competitive advantage in technology. Google, for instance, has a competitive advantage in their technology. You could have a competitive advantage in innovation. That would be Apple or 3M or somebody like that who has a competitive advantage in innovation. You could have a competitive advantage in economies of scale. Be the largest, be the best out there in order to offer the best price or the best offering. That might be Walmart. And then finally, you could have a competitive advantage in marketing or branding. When I think about a competitive advantage in marketing or branding, Nike comes to mind, because Nike does a great job of branding and marketing their products. Let's face it, a workout t-shirt is a workout t-shirt, but people will pay $20 more for that swish or swoosh or whatever the hell they call it. Anyways, they will pay more for that. So an organization needs to take a look at, what is my competitive advantage, and then focus on that competitive advantage in order to deliver the best value to the customer. Speaking of customer value, in order to understand customer values, or in order to satisfy or deliver customer value, you can offer products that perform better. You can earn the trust like IBM did. IBM earned the trust of every single purchasing manager out there, and that's why they were able to sell their servers. You can have a good price and avoid unrealistic pricing. You can provide buyers information or be a technical type of consultant or salesperson. You could offer the best in service, or you could actually co-create products with customers. All of those are ways in order to deliver the best customer value. Firms out there need to take that look at, what do they have, what do they do best, what is their competitive advantage, what do their customers require with regards to customer value, and then mirror those two so that both of them are on the same plane and they're competing, offering the best customer value they possibly can. So customer satisfaction is derived from customer value. When you satisfy your customers' needs and you deliver value to those customers, you get customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction starts to build relationships. Building relationships is part of CRM, or customer relationship management. And that's where companies or firms or organizations want to go today. And organizations will go the extra mile in order to drive or to build that customer relations or that CRM. I mean, think about Starbucks. Heck, they go so far as to put your name on the cup. And people like that. I mean, that's one of their competitive advantages. And because people like that, it helps to build CRM. CRM, customer relationship management, also helps to build lifetime value analysis, which is a term that we are going to talk about later in the semester. So building those relationships, you can be customer oriented, you could be training oriented, you could be service oriented, what have you. But in order to build those relationships, the firm must be externally focused. In order to be externally focused, we've got to hire the best customer-oriented personnel. We've got to do training programs to make them customer-focused. We've got to give the lowest hierarchy the authority to make decisions and solve problems. We've got to work through teamwork. All those types of things are keys to the organization building relationships. And then also a firm has to make sure that they take advantage of what business they were in. Focus on the customers, focus on the industry, encourage creativity, much like Google does, stimulate awareness and change when customer preferences change, and keeping up with the market to ensure that we are keeping up with the customer's firms and the customer's business. So here's CRM again, company-wide business strategy in order to deliver the best possible value, in order to build relationships, to keep those customers, excuse me, keep those customers for life. Why study marketing? Because if you think about it, without marketing, a firm would never have any revenue. Without revenue, a firm wouldn't be in business. Marketing people drive revenue for the firm through exchanges and all the things that we talked about here. That revenue goes to pay the bills and also goes for profit. Without marketing people, no firm would ever have any revenue. Without revenue, no firm would ever be in business. And that's why we study marketing. And that's what we're going to study over the next, say, 14 weeks. So that concludes our video lecture for Chapter 1. Here are your discussion questions. What I want you to do is I want you to write just a few sentences on each one of these discussion questions. It kind of lets me know that you watched the video. It kind of also lets me know that you understood what I was talking about in the video. I know that it says on the, it might say on the online content to upload it to the assignment folder. I don't want you to do that. I want you to print out a hard copy and give me a hard copy of these questions on Tuesday when we get together. Please, again, 2 or 3 sentences per question and typed up, and give them to me when we get together on Tuesday. Again, I'm looking forward to meeting all of you when we have our first class, which is not this coming Tuesday, but a week from Tuesday. And until then, if anybody has any questions or concerns or anything like that, please come to see me during my office hours or give me a text. Thank you.